Okay, we're turning that down because we're doing a video from something that was done yesterday on the internet, and certain people are pretty upset about it, and I'd like to talk about it for a second. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about this fine gentleman over here, Scott Junn. Oh, and let me fix my camera a bit. Actually, let me get in camera a bit. So Captain Jackoff here, and I mean that in a friendly way. What he did was not wrong, because if you look hard enough, there was evidence of what he was doing was kind of was off the rails. So let's pause the music for a second. Yeah, we'll just pause the music for now, or is that muting it? So what the hell happened to the music? There we go. So, anyways, this gentleman here, where's this gentleman right here, Scott Junn? He went ahead and he was doing a breakdown of patch updates coming up for Dead by Daylight. And he does this every now and then, where he goes over the stuff and he gives his input on, you know, if it's good, if it's bad, etc., etc. But this time, there's a few things off before you realize that it's a damn joke. A few things that throw you off, that would make you think it's not a joke, is the fact that it's fucking almost 20 minutes long. For 20 minutes or 18 minutes and some change, he kept up the facade that this was legit. But if you look throughout the video, there are certain things that you can catch that lets you know that this is not legit. And right off the bat, on the first second of the video, you see it says it's patch 7.0. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that the first number for the patch note, because when I first saw the video, I was like, that's odd. They skipped all of 6. Why would they do that? I don't know. Maybe something might have happened. Let's see what this gentleman, Scott Junn, has to say about this new patch. But right there, the fact that it's 7.0, the fact that it skipped all of 6, what the 7 refers to is the year. The year the game has been out. So if you look right here, right when the Resident Evil chapter started, that's right at the beginning of the 5th year anniversary, and that's why it goes to patch 5. Just like if you go back right before that, it was patch 4. So the fact that there's no patch 6 should just let you know right then and there, it's no bueno. It's a facade. So then, but the fact that this gentleman, Scott Junn, went on with the joke for so fucking long is what bothers me the most. It was hilarious at the end, but then he starts talking about certain things come up within this display that lets you know that it's bullshit too. Like, first of all, this backwards arrow right here is overlaid on top of the scroll bar. I didn't notice that at first. This is just because I've paused at first. But let's hear what he has to say.
Today we're going to go over patch 7.0, which is coming out, I think, in a month and a half.
Right there. A month and a half. We're getting ready to have a patch 5.4 drop on Tuesday, November 30th, 2021, for the release of The Artist. And I believe that's what patch number it might be. Because, let me see. Yeah, because for each chapter or each release of a killer or a survivor, they introduced, because like patch 5.0 was Resident Evil with Nemesis, Leon, and Claire, an RPD map. Patch 5.1 was a mid chapter. I think mid chapter for that one before Pinhead came out, I think it was just fixes. Then 5.2 was Hellraiser. Then 5.3, if I'm not mistaken, 5.3 should have been Michaela. But anyways, so the fact that his time of a month and a half, which would put it around, let's just say the middle of January, which is possible that there could be a hot fix or a bug patch or something in the middle of January. But the fact that the number is just off should just let you know. It's a goddamn joke.
once it's off PTB. I skimmed this briefly, and it seems like the best patch this game has ever had. I'm insanely excited for it. I just read some of it, but let's just go over exactly what they. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. All right, let's go over what they've actually changed.
All right, so let's talk about some major changes and the things that the fact that it was called the Fog Reborn, I would appreciate this if even by year 7 these things are implemented. So if this is like a hearsay from the future, that would be awesome. That would be really cool if Scott Jun actually predicts all these changes that are getting ready to happen, such as the first one that you can see right here. Bloodlust is removed, which I would really, really, really like it if Red Stain did just go away. Red Stain gives the survivor too much information, and it makes chase ridiculous because survivors have like this 180-degree view of their of their camera, where killer is locked in at almost like a 45-degree. So you're talking about the survivors have almost 4 times the visual information as killer has. And I find that kind of unfair and bullshit. I don't care. Like, I do have some gripes of how fast survivors can be, both in running speed and gen completions. But the fact that all that could be null and void if there was no Red Stain, or if like someone just made a mod. What if Dead by Daylight was in first person? Oh, it looks so good in first person for survivors to be in first person. But you take away so much of the information that survivors rely on, that no one would want to fucking do that. But anyways.
So first off, huge. Bloodlust has been removed.
Yeah, bullshit.
Bloodlust was a mechanic intended to help alleviate some earlier issues with map design, but most of these problems have been addressed, so the mechanic has been rendered unnecessary. This is something that people have been requesting for a while. The thing is, Bloodlust has been a necessary evil because a lot of maps are so badly designed that you need a basic handicap mechanic to allow you to, be able to down people at certain...
Bloodlust as a handicap mechanic, not so much. It's just the fact that Survivor, like, it shouldn't, like, that's why I think survivors run at 4.4, which is considered the 100%. I find that fine. I find that totally fine. What I have a problem is that you have some killers that either run slower than that or just a smidge faster than that, which I believe the standard is 4.6. And that is the peak of what default killers can run at. Actually, hold on. Let me see something. I have my PS5 open. Let's go over to PS5. We'll look at Trapper and we'll look at his run speed. So let's see. Not custom game. Well, custom game doesn't matter. And don't judge me. I'm prestiging the nurse right now because there's a trophy that I don't have unlocked where you prestige a character 3 times and get them to level 50. But anyways, so if we go to their information, it'll say like right here, the nurse. But due to her power, it makes sense why she's 3.8. Her power gives her a boost to speed and has no collision with the environment. Makes sense. But if you go to Billy, Wraith, and Trapper, they're all 4.6. The Huntress is 4.4. Hag is 4.4. 4.6, 4.6, 4.6, 4. Spirit is 4.4? Never knew that. So, pretty much defaultly, a lot of the killers are either 4.6 is the highest, with 3.8 being the slowest, and 4.4 is reserved more for characters that have an ability to give them, map pressure to a high extent. Being ranged attack, pretty wide range teleports. Who else has a 4.4? Spirit. This I don't well, her power gives her a speed boost when she uses the phasing. He's a range killer. That makes sense. Range killer makes sense. Yeah, so defaultly, most killers are 4.6 with the survivors being 4.4. With survivors being 4.0. And I just think this, even still, when they're running in a straight line, it shows that After you hit a survivor, they get that speed boost, and the survivor and the killer is still going in a straight line. The run in a straight line tactic. It takes anywhere from like 20 to 25 seconds, I think, to catch up with that survivor, and that's just too fucking long. If anything, it needs to be brought down to 10 seconds, because the fact that survivors have access to things like sprint burst, slide, balance landing, they have the pallets, they have these windows, which they window vault within a second and a half, 2 seconds of vault animation, depending on which version of vaulting you're doing. Where the killer, only one killer can vault faster than designed, and that's Legion. And even then, he's at a huge handicap with his vision being only a 45-degree angle cone. But yeah, the whole speed thing, I'm kind of like going off on a tangent, and I'm like kind of almost ignoring what Scott Dunn has to say. But yeah, killers need to be a little bit faster because survivors have so much utility in terms of speed. Oops, wrong window.
Setups like Haddonfield, for example, like the House of Pain without Bloodlust is like, it takes forever.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The fact that they're so confident that they fixed these maps that they don't need Bloodlust anymore is both scary and very exciting at the same time. But let's go on. Completely designed the.
So mind you, now he's talking about important stuff that does need to be changed for the health of the game. He is talking about, that's why this troll move that he's doing comes as a shock, that he put so much time into breaking down this faux, I guess you could say breakdown, I guess this patch note. So let's see, let's continue on.
Loop money system.
The loop money system is a term that I'm not familiar with, but apparently there's a system within the game that when it generates a map, there's a point value system that goes into how many strong walls or strong tiles for survivors can be generated within that map. So it won't exceed, say, having like given them every other tile has a TL wall or a long straight line wall, things like that. So that's what that's supposed to be. I don't know if this is legit, because like I said, this is a term new to me.
For those of you guys who know, the loot money system is basically tiles have certain weighting to them. Actually, let me explain it here.
He explains it, but that's not things like that. Things like this could be easily adjusted. TL walls would mean nothing if the killer ran at say 5.4, ran at 5.0 or 5.2 even at default speed.
I just don't know what they're waiting for, have or just strength range. In addition to a more accurate measurement of randomly generated tiles, we've also implemented checks in place to prevent multiple strong tiles from.
See, the effort that went into this troll webpage right here is iconic to me. Actually, hold on. It's pretty dark in here. Let there be light. Ooh, that is bright. That's the lowest setting? Holy hell, that is bright. Ah! Jesus Christ. All right. So, yeah, the effort that went into this troll move is nothing but legendary. But, and the sad thing is, a lot of the keynotes he's pointing out, minus, like I said, the first couple seconds where you see 7.0, what the fuck happened to 6.0, and some of the things that he's talking about, like, a lot of things that he's talking about makes sense for the health of the game. It does. It makes absolute sense that, Bloodlust gets removed and this system being put in makes sense.
Shows that they really understand, like, at the high level, one of the main issues in the game is chaining tiles together. And in the hands of a very good survivor, this is why maps like Fractured Cowshed are so ridiculous, because you can have the shack that's connected to a tile that's connected to another tile, and you can chain all these together with like zero pallet usage. It's ridiculous. So
exactly.
The fact that they're acknowledging this is actually huge.
So the shit that he's talking about, even though this is a troll move, he's right. The survivors have so much utility, so much power, that the game almost forgets that it's supposed to be a tension-built handicap match where 4 people are going up against one. The one person, the killer, needs to have a handicap put in place because of the fact that they're outnumbered, and the goal that they have that they're protecting, they can't do that effectively. Like 9 times out of 10, when a match starts and the survivors are in 4 separate groups, the first survivor the killer finds, by the time they get that person down, that survivor down and on a hook, those 3 other generators have popped in high skill level. Now, granted, when I'm survivor, this is not always the case. For some reason, the game does a complete 180 shift when it comes to me being killer versus survivor. When I'm killer, the survivors are the expendables. When I'm survivor, it's fucking Rick and Morty episodes. But and then even when I'm killer too, I have a huge problem with totem placements. There should never ever be a reason that totems spawn within visual line of sight while working on the generator. And almost 100% of the time, this is the case for my totem spawns. But anyways.
The effects for the perk Kindred have now become base git.
Now, he talks about a perk change right here. Now, I am a solo survivor. I do have friends on Dead by Daylight. I don't play with them that frequently or that often. Because like I say, the people that do play this game that are my friends, they don't find this game all that entertaining or fun. I don't see why. But he talks about taking the perk Kindred, making the effective Kindred baseline. So that means when someone is on the hook, for X amount of radius near the hook survivor, you see the killer. If the killer remains close to the hook survivor, you see their aura. But the big thing is that the other survivors that are not hooked, everybody sees their aura. Everybody sees their aura. And they're saying that would be a baseline thing, that you don't need the perk Kindred for that to work. And I would change, if this were to be a change in the future, I would welcome it, because that is awesome for survivors that aren't in a surviving with friends. And then give the penalty to campers if you have the perk Kindred, give a penalty to killers that camp the survivor, which an 8% repair speed. I'm trying to remember. Prove Thyself, I think, is a 15% speed boost. Let me see. Wrong controller. Let's see. If we go to Survivor, go to our David, who has all the perks. Load out. Prove Thyself. Prove Thyself. There's a 50% bonus speed. That's only if you're working with an additional person. So, yeah, there's that. So you have something that would give a solo survivor almost a Prove Thyself boost. I mean, I could see that, being a thing because of the fact there's no way to punish camping survivors. There's none. No way to punish camping survivors. No, I mean, camping survivors. Camping killers. Or as I like to call them, babysitters. That's the term that I use when it comes to killers that won't leave the fucking hook when they hook a survivor. I call them the babysitters. But anyways, continuing on.
The effects has now? Shouldn't it be have now?
And then here's another hint. There are plethora of typos throughout this document. Like, Kindred has now become a baseline feature. Like, the wording would be, the effects of Kindred will now become a baseline feature, because we're in terms of wording, like, the patch is not out yet. The patch won't be out yet. The fact that they didn't even run this through a PTB, yeah, that is a big gigantic fuck you flag right there. That there's typos like this. There's quite a few of them too. Like the word decided is spelled ridiculously wrong.
The effects of the perk Kindred has now become a baseline feature. In our ongoing attempts to bridge the
Well, yeah, we can go ahead and skip through
too much
this.
additional power with friends, we hope the base while the killer remains within 12 meters. Now, by default, you can see players who
all
the
the
guy, you act, if you're actually using the perk Kindred, camping because they'll do the gens even faster. Let's get her Skirtrux. This is interesting. Because they'll do the gens even faster then. That's interesting.
All right, so now this next one, basement hooks are now scourge hooks. I would welcome this. I'd welcome that. The basement hooks, there is no benefit or there's nothing that leads into the killer survivor other than the fact that when a survivor is unhooked out of the basement, there's only one way out, which is the stairs, and then once when you get on top of the stairs, there's usually 3 ways out, which that being 2 doors and a window. The basement hooking game, and the fact that there's a lot of challenges tied to the basement hook within the tomes and the archives, I would welcome that if the scourge hooks, the basement hooks, become some kind of like super hooks. I mean, well, they're already super hooks in the sense that you can't break them, and if you kill survivors on them, the hooks don't break themselves. But the fact that there are many maps too where the hooks, the basement hooks, are so far out of the way from zones of conflict that even like I think Ormond would be like a good, or any large map really, like Red Forest, Mother's Dwelling. The fact that they say the Asylum is a large map, I mean, I could see it, but the one where it's considered Clown's map is fucking huge, especially the carnival area. That fucking area is just a bunch of dead zone. But anyways, scourge hooks being in the basement, I would welcome this. I would welcome this if they were defaultly scourge hooks and they provided some kind of like extra status effects if they got unhooked. And like there's even like that would even give extra usefulness to the shitty ass perk that is known as Monstrous Shrine. They say that there are some perks that are useless out there, but they have value if you like put it in a theme, put it in give it some value by teaming it up with something else. Monstrous Shrine has no fucking benefit whatsoever. But if you make the basement shrines scourge hooks and give some like extra debuffs, rather it be if you're unhooked out of the basement hook, you suffer oblivious, or that would actually be cool if you're while in the basement. Monstrous Shrine, like if you had Monstrous Shrine do all the shit that it says it does, but like it applies scourge hook status effects to the basement hooks, as well as say the basement makes you oblivious because fuck, you're underground and you're as close to the entity as possible. That would make Monstrous Shrine possibly an A tier perk, if not S tier. The fact that the survivors can't hear a heartbeat or see the red stain while in the basement. But that would just make Basement Bubba 1,000 times stronger, and they won't do no shit like that though. But I'm just saying, one can dream, just like this fucking video Scott John made that he spent 20 minutes into.
All hooks in the basement are now considered scourge hooks. To be like huge. Boon totems cannot be relit within 60 seconds of them being destroyed by the killer.
So there's another typo right here that lets you know that this is bullshit. Killers don't destroy boon totems. Killers snuff out boon totems. I mean that's nitpicking on the wording, but when he said that, even I was like, that sounds odd. But boon totems cannot be lit within 60 seconds of being destroyed by the killer. I would like this to be tied to the survivor's perk, where once when a boon totem is snuffed out, well, once the boon totem is lit, you just can't go around, find another dull totem and reignite it. No, once when you choose a boon totem, it's locked in place. You can't reignite another boon totem, a dull totem, and turn it into a boon totem or any totem. I forget that you can do hex totems too, but it's fucking takes forever. But yeah, for boon totems, once when it's lit, you can't move it, and on top of that too, once when it's not, it should do a cooldown of 60 seconds. That is legit. That is a solid. See, this is why this particular troll, joke review hurts so much, because a lot of the shit that he's talking about is valid. It's fucking on the nose. It would make the game a lot more, competitive, because it's supposedly, well, we've heard this before, another competitor is coming into the mainstream of asymmetrical multiplayer games by the name of VHS, and there's a streamer by the name of Dowsy. He says that VHS is leagues more entertaining and fun fun, which being the key word here, than Dead by Daylight being, because he says when he plays Dead by Daylight, it's more of like a struggle or a job, and he's not having fun. But when he plays VHS, it feels more engaging. It feels more fun because there's actual, multiple tasks that need to be done that's tied to the killer as opposed to just trying to escape. But anyways.
So this makes it actually kind of worth it to destroy, because as I think it's a good idea. So that's not bad. Self-healing speeds have been capped.
All right, this one, I've always understood that it is capped at, especially when you use things like Will Make It. It states on the perk itself that 100% speed increase cannot be stacked or anything like that, but that might just be tied to the perk alone. But like, if you have things that like speed up your healing, such as certain add-ons on your med kit, botany knowledge, I think was the other one. You can like essentially break the speed cap and heal within 5 seconds, which I see a lot on my killer gameplay. There's an unhook, and then within a couple seconds, even if they have Sloppy Butcher, they're fucking healed. So say you're standing next to the Boon Totem of Healing. I forget the name of it already. You have a med pack that has the increased speed healing add-ons, and then you have Botany Knowledge. You're like, oh, I'm strong again. Yeah, no, fuck that. There needs to be a cap on healing speeds.
This is literally like I made this faster than 8 seconds.
Look, there he goes.
100% increased self-healing speed by any means. This means you can never heal yourself. Self-healing speeds have been capped. This is literally like I made this.
There he goes. It's literally like I made this. There's another hint that this is bullshit.
Faster than 8 seconds. Really made a carrier do that. Is 100 means you could not have asked for anything better. Added a concede match feature.
Now this right here, the concede match feature, I would welcome. I totally would welcome this, because you have too many times where I've bitched and complained about it within a match. A survivor runs up to me and just forfeits the match, therefore ruining the experience of the other 3 survivors. And then what's going on, Greenish? Ruining the experience of other survivors playing the game. But yeah. The whole conceding match thing, yeah, that should be added in. The next thing he talks about, because I want to wrap this up and start playing some games.
All survivors in the trial. Preview 1 with 5 gens up. 5 minutes, you've given it. Yeah, I'm not. Or you still never be random. Added a map ban system for killers. Killers can now select 2 realms. Am I dreaming?
There's another hint that he's bullshit. Am I dreaming? Yeah, he's made it fully aware that he's full of shit. What is this? One second, my relative is asking a question. But anyways, but the this right here, banning maps. Yeah, like if I am Billy, I want the maps of like outdoor maps. No, not really too many indoor maps, because then I suck as a killer, because my power and my abilities dictate that I need open long runs. So if I'm Billy inside Leary's asylum, guess what? I am in for a rough time. So yeah, putting in a ban system and having the offerings override the ban system, I would welcome that. That's totally fucking legit. That is legit.
Offerings dependent for each survivor.
All right, now this one right here. Killers now receive 25% bonus for each survivor in a single group. So that means that if they're like surviving with friends, if the information that they're friends being together, the killer gets more blood points. I don't know how I feel about this one, because I feel like too much information would be needed to dictate this, to give killers. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. It would give incentive for people to play killer more often, because the cap right now is that you get 32 The maximum you can get in a match is 32,000 blood points just from the match itself. That's not including any like multipliers, events, or anything like that going on. But yeah, the fact that if you are going up against the friends that have the ability to communicate and give off coordination and coordinate and attack against the killer over long ranges as opposed to visually or within the game's set mechanics. Like if there's proximity chat in this game, like how it was in Friday the 13th, shout out. Then yeah, that would be amazing. I would welcome proximity chat. Granted, there will be a few people that'll make it unbearable using racial slurs or just being obnoxiously loud, playing the latest Migos album through their fucking mic set as loud as possible just to be a dick. But there's always options where you can turn on proximity chat off. Yeah, that's a thing. But anyways, so the whole giving more blood points to killers that are dealing with surviving with friends, I don't know how it could be done, but
Survivor and a 60%, then you basically completely.
This one right here made me cry. Well, I'm still debating on if this was real or not. When this particular patch change, he states, I cried because I just did a celebration of 100%ing all the current killers that I have with all perks, all 3 levels of perks, and it's like a total of like 6,000 perk nodes were done. And yeah, this one hurt me. And Sushi saw my face, and she before I figured out this was fake, I was like, this is bullshit.
I can't imagine a single person's gonna complain about that. Perk tiers have been completely removed.
I cried when he said that, when I thought this was real.
Back when we first launched the game, we needed a money sink for blood points, and perk tiers were a good way to do that. Now there are far too many perks to justify 3 ranks of all of them, so we simply have made all perks their current tier 3 forms. Enjoy the extra blood points.
So, a couple things right here to let you know that this is bullshit. The enjoy the extra blood points. What is it saying about what do you mean by that? You mean the blood points that you don't have to spend and getting these tiers again? Or were they going to do some kind of refund system for those that have 3 tiers, 6,000 times of, getting all these tier 3s? Or that's only on the killer side. That's not even including the survivor side of all the tier perks. So I digress. Excuse me. I got a little upset with that one.
About time. It's ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? Is this actually real?
See, there he goes again.
Added additional measures to detect impossibilities done by cheating. While this is not foolproof, these measures should detect basic things like enhanced movement.
I thought you were speaking with the dude. Seems sitting like that, like a Zoom call. No. This is doing a side by side. I'm doing a comparison. This dude made this post on Dead by Daylight's upcoming changes, and at the end of the video, which mind you, if you look down here, he spent 18 minutes making this sound like this was real and a legit thing, only to say that it was a troll move at the very end. And I had something to say about this because everything he's touching on was like, it was on the realm of possibilities, and it hurt to find out that this shit was a joke.
Speed or having more than 4 perks. Unfortunately, it's fair.
So yeah, it's talking about addressing the recent hackers that the flood of hackers that have been in Dead by Daylight, between the speed hacking and the health hacking, all that stuff. Yeah, there should be something to be in there to stop the anti-cheats. And it was like, if a survivor whose run speed is at most, I think it'd be 6 meters a second, but yet you have some survivors that are running from one side of the map to the other side of the map in 3 seconds, that should be an automatically banned, because there's no fucking way that's possible. No, none. Yeah, no amount of perks or nothing will get no amount of the situation will a survivor have the ability to sprint burst, adrenaline, and get hit at the same time. Will get them the speed boost that will be achieved to achieve some of the speeds that some of these fucking hackers get to. But then the problem is that there's the subtle hackers, like I've mentioned with these assholes, and they are a huge problem in the game.
there's pretty much no game that has no cheating.
Yeah.
Agree with them that start. We'll see what that actually, if it actually works or not. But Asylum, large maps have been problematic for a very long time as they incentivize the very uninteractive run straight playstyle.
And this is where I kind of figured it was hilarious that he said that large maps have their sizes greatly reduced. This includes matches of his mother's duel and Crotus Penn's Asylum, which I believe is the clown's level. It's not the nurse's level. The nurse's level, I feel, isn't that big compared to the clown's level. But RPD wasn't mentioned, and RPD is fucking gigantic, and that needs to be addressed.
Many players have adapted to. Very true. We bridge the gap. All killer change.
Okay, and now he went through all the general patch note changes, and now he's going into killer changes, which, like I said, the fact that so much effort was put into this lie is hilarious.
Changes now. Legion. Post-fire fatigue is reduced from 4 to 3 seconds. Good. He needs that. For each survivor hit during a frenzy, the Legion's movement speed.
See, I would welcome that change. Hillbilly, this one, the overheat mechanic, the fact they just implemented it, not just a little over a year ago, and they're talking about getting rid of it. I find that this was a red flag as well too. It's like they're not too keen on backing, doubling down. Like they normally give it like 2 years before they change a killer's power. Like with Doctor was out for I think close to 3 years before they changed his power. But anyways, so yeah, they're talking about with Hillbilly removing that. Now this one, the shape, they were talking about the further you are away, the faster you increase your stalk meter. Red flag. I would welcome that if a survivor is fully stalked, that they're always like lit up with their auras, which that would be welcome, because then that would give him some weight to his power being used like that. Because if you're in late game and you've stalked all 4 survivors to their highest level, you can't get to tier 3 anymore. But so survivors are now visible when if they're fully stalked to tier 3. Yeah, no, I don't know about that one. Like I said, the fact that they put in they had when in tier 3 you have built-in enduring and built-in brutal strength, and then included does not stack with enduring and brutal strength. The pig, I would look. This one also hurt me too. I said that the pig is too much RNG involved with the pig's power. That being the lock boxes, says the first puzzle box will never contain the first key. That is welcomed, because that is bullshit. That not only do you have to down a survivor to get the trap on them, but then a generator needs to be repaired for the trap to even work. And in the time before the generator is fixed, they go to the first puzzle box they find, and guess what? It has the key. That needs that I would welcome this to change, like how they did for Trapper, where the first attempt on getting out of a bear trap will never succeed, but the second one will. Yeah, no, that or the roar. The fact that the roar was being changed. Why would the developers give a damn if pig roars before, here comes an incoming attack? I felt like that was the increased movement speed that would be welcome, but like I said, the roar, that just felt like Death Slinger. Let's see, Death Slinger. What was the bullshit note? Had the movement speed increased to 115? I don't know. Him being a ranged killer being slowed down, that's totally fine. Ghostface revealed logic. I don't know how that would have worked, but what they're talking about is that to reveal Ghostface when he's in stealth mode is tied to the camera, not to the survivor's vision. So if the camera can see Ghostface on the other side of a wall, but the survivor can't, the Ghostface is revealed. As opposed to if, the survivor, it needs to be the survivor's, actual character model fucking cone of vision, not so much the fucking god camera floating or behind the survivor. All right, here's another typo.
I'll believe it when I see it. Okay.
Here's a typo right here. The scalp knot, scalp top knot reduces demon dash activation for from 1 second to 5 seconds. It's already at that. We found that out last night when we were using Oni pretty exclusively last night, but
okay.
But wasn't it called Demon Rush and not Demon Dash? Yeah.
I'll believe it when I fucking see it.
I think
the Oni. Scalp top knot reduced demon dash duration.
Thought it was called Demon
I
Rush.
feel like I've already seen this. Didn't they already do this?
Yeah, they did.
I thought they already nerfed this. Maybe not. Or maybe like they went back on it or they changed the values. I'll have to check on that. I could have sworn they already changed that.
They did.
Huh.
But and then it goes down all these left behind technician. Remove the regression penalty for missing a skill check.
Survivor perks. Perk balancing. Left behind. In addition to the hatch reveal mechanic, your movement speed is increased by 7%.
Which would be welcome because you're the last survivor. You need to find the hatch. You need to be a little bit faster.
Okay, so if you're the last survivor, you basically just get hope.
Yeah.
That's cool. Technician. Remove the regression penalty for missing a skill check. Yeah, I don't know why it had that to begin with.
Because the fact that it removes the sound of you failing the skill check is kind of busted. So you need to have some kind of additional penalty for missing a skill check. If you had if it just did nothing, like it's weird that they have that one perk for healing. It's like you make no noise while you're healing, and if you miss a skill check, it does no regression on your heal. It's like, dude, that's fucking great. Why would you not run that? What's going on? What's going on, Sushi? Oh, what time do you want to head out? You don't feel good? Okay. Sushi had a rough morning with the little one, so she's not feeling all that up to the snuff. We were supposed to go to Costco after lunch, and she might back out or wait until she takes a nap. But anyways, but yeah, like let's see, flip flop. Remove the range requirement. There was a range requirement for flip flop. Let's take a look. What the fuck did flip flop do? Let's take a look. Flip flop. All right. I keep grabbing the goddamn Logitech controller, not the PS5 controller. Let's see. Flip flop. Flip flop. Flip flop. Flip flop. While in the dying state, recurrent progression is converted to wiggle progression. Up to yeah. What range are they talking about? What range are they talking about with flip flop? So another hint. This is bullshit. Remove the range requirement. Yeah. Kindred, as mentioned before, Decisive Strike now becomes disabled when booning a totem. I thought it did. And boon circles now grant 75. I would rather boon totems not have the fucking gigantic range that they have right now. I would welcome it if it dropped down to 12 or 8 fucking meters. Because there's too many times, if a map has multiple tiers to it, that boon totems are just godlike. Like, what is it? It's one of the Trapper maps where I think it's Cold Tower, I think. Whereas oftentimes there's 2 spots inside the tower where a totem can spawn, and they're really hidden and out the way, but it's damn near in the center of the map. So you could put the boon totem up there, but be outside where all the traffic is, where all the objective is, and have, you know, Shadow Step or the healing part, Circle of Healing, and it reaches you because it's got a 48 meter wide fucking diameter. It's huge. It's fucking huge. Make boons smaller. And like I said, I'm really not a survivor main. I'm a killer main. I just really like playing survivor because there's much more fun to be had playing survivor as playing the killer. But yeah, that's too strong.
Technician, right now, you have a penalty for missing skill checks.
Yeah.
Which was really, really weird.
No, it's not. It's not weird. Because I guess you neglect to mention that the sound of failing the skill check is removed.
Killer doesn't know you have no mither until they actually hit you.
Oh yeah, no mither. I would welcome no mither change too.
And then they see you're broken. You get an flip % fast, which is buffer and cleansing it. I think.
And then it goes to killer perks being changed. We're almost at the end of the video, and then you'll see his great reveal of how this is a fucking troll move. Let's see. Beast of Prey. They no longer see red stain. I want red stain just fucking gone. Red stain is stupid. Predator scratch marks can be seen through walls. That would be great. That would be great. Lightborn. I would like Lightborn to be changed like this as well too, because when you have Lightborn and they try to flashlight blind you, nothing happens. There's the indicator of you going for a flashlight just doesn't. So they know that you have Lightborn, but if it gives off the impression that you are being blinded by that dimming, narrowing effect that flashlights do when they get ready to go for a flashlight blind, that would be welcomed. I would like that. Strider can no longer counter by Iron Will, yeah. Now, the Huntress Lullaby one requires no more tokens. I feel this was an obvious troll move too, because that would be way too fucking strong. Just off the start, something that takes 5 hooks for it to take full effect, and now here you are fucking around saying that right off the bat all skill checks are quiet skill checks. That would make Impossible Skills Check Doctor S tier. That would be welcome, but that is completely too overpowered.
Longer see your stain until you
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and
Now
skip
we-
through this.
seeing perk to blind someone. They're still blind as well. Okay, so they no longer affect again issue that cause survivors to.
And then right here, this is when he reveals this part. This is where I picked up, oh no, it's a fucking troll. It's a joke. Because at the very bottom, fix an issue that causes survivors to rarely make no sound when they're in the dying state. That's a legit bug. Fix an issue that causes survivors unable to be picked up. Never ran into that one. Fix an issue where Scott couldn't wake up. Who the fuck is Scott? There's no survivor in the game named Scott.
Be unable to be picked up. Okay, yeah, like when they get stuck on the wall, that's really good. Fix an issue where Scott couldn't wake up. Wait, what? Hey guys, Scott here. Today
Like I said, the fact that it's a joke isn't the problem. This guy is known for making troll posts like the one that he did on Starva being a robot. That was fucking hilarious, but it was like 3 minutes at most, I believe. Scott John. Starva. The truth about Starva. 10 months ago, he made a video about it where he talks about Starva being a robot because he was like, where is it?
history of doing challenge runs, which the things going on here, because he's got this brain wired like that. Again, so just have now done by the University of Boulder, University of Colorado.
Oh, dude, that's cute. Please laugh at me.
Something twinkled in this player's eye, and it did not look natural. I spent a lot of time trying to enhance it, and I zoomed it a couple of times until I came upon a vaguely clear enough image, zoomed in about 746 times, that says "sys failure" and then Speknov or something. It's kind of hard to tell, but that top part is undeniably.
But the joke only went on for 4 minutes. See, the joke ended at 4 minutes. He took the time to make a joke. See, this was earlier this year too. He took the time to make a 20-minute joke, whereas in before most of his jokes were down to 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes.
Sys failure. And the basis for many conspiracy theories that robots were dead by daylight, and he wanted to make bots for this game when his teammates left. Apparently, this string of events led to the creation of real physical robots instead. He's a fucking robot.
Yeah, see.
Hey guys, Scott here. Today's video is not going to be a guide or anything.
So yeah, Scott, that one's for you, buddy. I enjoyed the joke, but you dragged it on for so long. But you dropped hints throughout the video that it was a joke, and then I don't know, is your comment section has turned toxic? Let's see. Comment: I never trusted him anyways. I too started doubt. Oh wait, no, this is the Starva one. Let's see.
Hey guys, Scott here.
Let's see. This video is also a case study on people that comment without watching the video. They are commenting on Kiku. Okay. I see Scott managed to break the time barrier on an updated version that is actually happening to DVD in a good timeline. So yeah, like right here, a person that didn't watch the video to its entirety, just like break the time barrier. But see that, like I said, the fact that it starts off with 7.0. Yeah. New killer of the monster, Scott John, for getting my hopes up and dashing them. Smiles more and more with each sense of this patch. The reveal. Honey, you got a big storm coming. Way to crush everyone's dream, Scott. Yeah. Like I said, it was a fucking troll move. Hats off to him for being such a dick. But anyways, let's do some Survivor.